Wait, wait, wait. You're not going to believe what just happened. So Princess Catherine makes this incredibly moving appearance at a hospital. We're talking raw, emotional, real stuff about her cancer journey. And guess who suddenly pops up on Instagram with a mystery photo? I'll give you 3 guesses, but you'll only need one. Let me paint you a picture of what went down this week. On one side, we have Catherine, the Princess of Wales, making a surprise visit to the RHS Wellbeing Garden at Colchester Hospital. And folks, this wasn't your typical royal wave and smile situation. This was Catherine opening up about her cancer recovery journey, planting roses that were literally named in her honor, and having real conversations with patients about the struggles of post-treatment life. The authenticity was palpable. You could see it in her eyes, hear it in her voice. She talked about finding her new normal, something anyone who's battled serious illness knows is incredibly difficult to navigate. It was vulnerable, it was genuine, and it was exactly what people needed to see. But here's where it gets interesting. While Catherine was out there doing actual royal work, connecting with real people facing real challenges, someone else was apparently feeling a little left out. Enter Meghan Markle with what I can only describe as the most perfectly timed Instagram post in the history of coincidental social media moments. So let's talk about this photo, because honey, there's a lot to unpack here. We're looking at what appears to be a professional lifestyle shoot, the kind where someone spends 3 hours getting the lighting just right for that candid moment. There's Meghan in a crisp white linen shirt and this enormous sun hat that could probably shelter a small village. She's mid-laugh, like someone just told her the most hilarious joke ever. The caption? Still soaking it in, feeling endlessly grateful. Cheers to what's ahead. Now, I'm not a body language expert, but I've seen enough forced smiles to know one when I see one. This laugh looks like it was choreographed by someone who's never actually seen a genuine human emotion. But here's what really caught people's attention, and not in a good way. The editing on this photo is, let's call it enthusiastic. We're talking about foundation that's 3 shades off, brows that look like they were drawn on with a protractor, and skin that's been smoothed to the point where it looks like a wax figure. One commenter perfectly summed up what everyone was thinking. Why is her face orange, her hands white, and her arms brown? It's like watching a real-time lesson in how not to use a tanning filter. But here's what's really fascinating about this whole situation. While Catherine was out there being vulnerable, sharing her struggles, and connecting with people who are going through similar battles, this Instagram post feels like it's from a completely different universe. It's the difference between showing up authentically and showing up for show. Catherine was planting actual flowers and talking about actual struggles. Meanwhile, we're getting recycled content that looks like it was shot for a wine commercial. And speaking of recycled content, plot twist. This photo isn't even new. According to multiple sources, this image is from a batch taken months ago for a magazine feature. So we're literally getting leftover lifestyle content served up as a fresh moment of gratitude. Think about that for a second. While Catherine was having genuine, in-the-moment conversations with cancer patients, someone else was scrolling through their camera roll looking for content that would trend. The contrast here is striking, and I think it tells us everything we need to know about authenticity in the public eye. On one hand, you have someone who's willing to be vulnerable, to share the messy, difficult parts of recovery, to show up without perfect makeup and have real conversations. On the other hand, you have someone who can't seem to let a moment pass without trying to create their own. And here's the thing, this isn't an isolated incident. There's a pattern here of strategic timing that's become pretty predictable. Big royal moment happens, followed by perfectly timed social media content that seems designed to split the attention. It's like watching someone who can't stand not being the center of attention, even when, especially when, someone else is having a genuinely meaningful moment. What gets lost in all of this is the actual impact of Catherine's visit. She's using her platform to shine light on the cancer community, to normalize conversations about post-treatment struggles, and to show that recovery isn't always linear or perfect. That's the kind of royal work